So at the end of this movie, they pass something about whatever, and I find out we're not allowed to have slaves anymore. And not only that, but we haven't allowed to have them for like 200 some odd years. What the fuck? Okay, in all seriousness, slavery is not cool. Is that even like a thing anymore to be pro-slavery? If it is, you just die, you antiquated piece of shit. So Lincoln, one of the big hailed movies of the, Oscar award season, one of the frontrunners, projected frontrunners, just one of those big movies that kind of sucks up every category possible because it's just huge scale, and it's Steven Spielberg, and that guy, I mean, come on, it's Steven Spielberg. And right off the bat, you know this is a Steven Spielberg movie. It has that feel of this very classic sort of filmmaking that he doesn't necessarily have, like, particular styles that I could articulate, but when you see it, you know what I mean. First thing, everybody's been talking about Daniel Day-Lewis as Abraham Lincoln. He was fantastic. I don't think it was overstated at all. I was worried they might be overplaying his performance, and I came out of it just thinking, no, that was just amazing. And the best part about it is it's really subtle. It's not like, hey, I'm this guy trying to be Abe Lincoln and trying to kind of play on the cliches of Lincoln's character. Of this very laid-back, genial kind of just got this down-to-earth gentleman who's just this cool guy that everybody wants to listen to, and when he talks, everybody just shuts up. And he really captures that, but in a very subtle way, and and that's the best way I can describe it, is it's just these little mannerisms and just the way that he speaks that it's not overdone at all. As opposed to, what a lot of people might have thought going in, it's not a biopic because it does not draw on really any other aspects of his life. It strictly focuses on the passage of the amendment to end slavery and the coming to the end of the Civil War and, culminating with the assassination. It's focused on this very small period of time, and that's why I like it, because it's not a biopic. It's a political drama, really. At its core, that's what it is. And it really works for that, and it captures all of these emotions and sentiments. A couple of the flaws I have with the movie kind of derive from that, though, is because they kind of have to explain, for people who aren't, as familiar with the facts of his life, they explain some certain things that happen, a lot of them personal, and some of them, the technical parts of his presidency, and I find that to be pretty weak exposition when they do it. It did feel forced. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in this movie, and I kind of forgot that he was supposed to be in it. He plays Robert Lincoln, one of Lincoln's sons, and when he's in there, he's great. And they do have a pretty good side story for him, but it's really just very poorly developed and just kind of thrown in there, and it's just, he just shows up every once in a while, and they could have handled that a lot better. And then Lincoln's other son, Tad, played by Grover McGrath in the movie, is just one of the best parts, because he's just this, eccentric, fun little kid who's just always running around the White House, and he's just awesome and so much fun in the movie. I loved that part. He was really good. And he actually gives an emotional performance towards the end that was really good. The biggest achievement in this movie, other than Daniel Day-Lewis's performance, I think is just capturing the scope and importance of what happens. I mean, some of the monologues given by the characters are just fantastic and just sum up a lot of the sentiment of the time period. For that, Lincoln is great. It works as the historical period piece that it does. Daniel Day-Lewis makes it infinitely better just by everything that he's in becomes better. There's some flaws, there's some other things I didn't like about it. I feel like it could have been better, but Daniel Day-Lewis' performances knocks it up, just another notch. So I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10, because the flaws I had with it were really overshadowed by the amazing rest of the movie. Just classic Spielberg humor, the visual effects of the few war scenes, and just the general atmosphere that's created, and the score, of course, is always beautiful music. Yeah, so, one of the best movies of the year. I was also really confused by the whole president thing. I didn't get what that was. Like, what does one do with the president. Like, I just thought that Lincoln was a guy. Who's a guy.